Ladies and gentlemen, you know what time it is because it is my favorite time of the week. This week, not only are we saving some money on some amazing digital and physical Switch and Nintendo Switch 2 games, but we also have some accessories that we're going to talk about as well. So let's go ahead and get right into this video. Yeah, you know what I'm doing here every week? I'm trying to do my best to save you guys some money on some great Switch and Switch 2 games. This week we're throwing in accessories. I'm doing as much as I can, but I could probably do more by giving away a Nintendo eShop gift card. That is correct, but we're going to sprinkle the cherry on top with another Nintendo eShop gift card. If you would like to have the same opportunity every single week, all you have to do is like and subscribe, follow me on Instagram or Twitter or both of those, and just support as much as you can, and I will always get back to my amazing community. Now that that's out of the way, let's get into these amazing deals. So the first game we're talking about is Tinykin, and this is currently $6.24 on the Nintendo eShop, and that is 75% off the full price. I think this is truly one of the greatest, I don't want to say slept on games, but just not talked about enough. Again, I don't want to say underrated, I think it's rated very high, but just underappreciated. And to compare it to any game, I would say it's similar to the way Pikmin games play, but I actually prefer quite a bit of things in this game over Pikmin. Number one, I think the graphics are incredible, the gameplay is amazing, and we have to talk about the price. I mean, how could you argue against that? So this game hasn't been on sale for quite a while, so I would pick this up if you get a chance. We also have Blossom Tales The Sleeping King, currently on sale for $3.74 on the eShop, and that is 75% off the full price. This and the sequel to this are incredible, truly incredible games. Very easy to see, it is inspired by classic Zelda, but that is not a bad thing. When a game is inspired by something and it does its own thing or has its own approach, but also kind of shows respect to the game it's copying, but done in the right way, if any of that makes sense. If you like classic Zelda games, you're gonna enjoy this. I really like the story of this game as well, and it's less than $4. Speaking of games that are inspired by Zelda, we have to talk about UnderMine. This is currently on sale for $9.99, and that is 50% off on the eShop. Dive deep into the UnderMine and discover its secrets, one peasant at a time. UnderMine is an action-adventure roguelike that blends combat and dungeon crawling with RPG-like progression. Mine gold, die, upgrade yourself, and try again. Discover hundreds of items including relics, potions, blessings, and curses that all combo and stack for a new experience. This would almost be like a Zelda spinoff or something. Again, very heavily inspired by The Legend of Zelda, but they're doing something unique here that I think is worth checking out. Now let's talk about a really cool game called UnMetal, and this is currently $4.99, and that is 75% off on the eShop. This game is like a mix of like a 2D Metal Gear Solid, like pixelated Metal Gear Solid, but also like an 80s action comedy movie parody, something like that. Like, it has the action, it has the Metal Gear feel to it, but it's also kind of out there and really crazy, like very adult themed stuff. It's an underrated game that is super fun, and anytime I get a chance to recommend this game, I will. Another underrated game is West of Loathing, and this is currently on sale for $3.41, and that is 69% off the full price. On the surface, you see the graphics and you think, what is this, a game from twoflashgames.com? You newer generation probably don't even know what that website was. Man, sitting here reminiscing now. And it kind of feels like something like that. But again, this is a wacky and weird out there game, but it's also a really good RPG. Like, overly good. Like, doesn't make sense why this game is this good as an RPG, but it is. So if you want to try something a little different, I would check this one out. Now let's talk about a really cool game called Promenade, and this is currently $7.49 on the eShop. That is 70% off the full price, and this is the lowest price this game has ever been. Travel the world using a dynamic moveset to find all the cogs. Interact with colorful characters and solve puzzles. Explore dungeons and face the bosses that dwell there. Use different objects and their properties to your advantage. This is a collectathon directly inspired by some of your favorite 3D platformers. This one's very simple. If you like platformers, I would say definitely check this one out. It looks really fun. I've never played this, but it looks really fun, and I really like this art style here. We also have We Love Katamari REROLL plus Royal Reverie. currently on sale for $7.49, and that is 75% off on the eShop. This is a game I feel like almost everybody should own on their Switch or their Switch 2. It is so damn fun. These games are timeless games. They're almost like therapeutic in a way because you kind of just zone out and see how big you can get your ball. And this is a really good time to pick this game up because this month, I believe, there is a brand new Katamari game coming out. And, I mean, that's amazing, right? So pick that one up. But before you do, if you've never played these games, this is a great jumping off point. And there's a good chance once you play this, you're going to want to play the new one. So one of my favorite hidden gems I've ever played is Golf Club Nostalgia. This is currently $1.99 on the eShop, and that is 80% off the full price. I know if you've been watching these eShop sales videos for a while, I sound like a broken record here, but I love the piece of trivia or fact about this game that it had another name, and it was called like Golf Club Wasteland or something. And then a year or two after releasing, they had to change the name due to copyright reasons. Honestly, who cares? Because the game is amazing. It is not that long of a game. I want to say like 3 or 4 hours max, and that's if you're a completionist. But it has this eerie feeling where you're going back to Earth and you're playing a bunch of rounds of golf and you're trying to figure out what the hell happened and how Earth became an apocalyptic wasteland. And there's this really cool radio station that adds to everything going on. I've beat this game probably like 5 times. It's something you can knock out in a day, and it is so damn good. So we have a really interesting game called Slayin 2, and this is currently $2.99, and that is 75% off on the eShop. Unravel ancient mysteries, defeat legendary bosses, and discover hidden areas while you explore this world. What's cool is there's 8 characters with individual weapons and playstyles. There's 2-player local drop-in co-op. There's a story and an arcade mode. Dozens of unique areas, each with their own bosses, and a really good soundtrack by the same person who made the Retro City Rampage soundtrack. This is another game I have never played, but after learning about this, I think I'm going to pick this up myself and put it in the backlog. It's super cheap, it looks very interesting, and it's like almost one of those games you can just tell you're going to have a really good time in, all for $3. Nickelodeon All-Star Brawl 2 is currently $9.99 on the eShop. That's 80% off the full price, and this is the lowest price this game has ever been. What's funny is I almost recommended this game last week, and I think it was like 15 bucks, but I didn't, and now it's $5 cheaper. Yes, it's a Smash Brothers Brawl style fighting clone game, but really, who cares? I love Nickelodeon. I grew up with Nickelodeon and Cartoon Network, like a lot of you guys did as well. I love all of these IPs, and a lot of times, like, I don't know if it's just being different than Smash Brothers, but you have so much fun in these games, and they feel like they do a lot of stuff different. Honestly, it may just be because it's not Smash Brothers, but I absolutely adore these games. I hope they keep getting made, and it's 10 bucks, man. Like, it's so hard to argue against that price. So we're also going to talk about a few physical games as well before we get into accessories and Switch 2 stuff. We have Sea of Stars physically at Amazon and Target for $28.99. This is one of my favorite games I ever played. Definitely one of my favorite games I ever played on the Switch. I actually want to rebuy this because there's DLC now. Yes, it's not the greatest RPG or JRPG of all time, but what I think it is a solid experience from start to finish. I don't think it has like high highs and low lows. I think it is solid the entire way through. I think the characters are really charming. The gameplay is just so damn good. The game looks beautiful. And like I was saying earlier, there's new DLC that might be free. I could be wrong, but I think the DLC is actually free. So if you like RPGs or JRPGs, this one is a no-brainer. We also have Darkest Dungeons 2 for $24.70 physically at Walmart, and that is 38% off the full price. Darkest Dungeon is one of the like better, I don't want to say hidden gems, but one of the better games on the Switch that kind of fly under the radar because I think a lot of people played it on PC. It's a game you can play forever, it feels like. Darkest Dungeon 2 came out in 2024. I think it did really good on Metacritic, has like an 81 or something, but again, kind of flew under the radar. In this game, you'll form a party, equip your stagecoach, and set off across the decaying landscape on your last quest to avert the apocalypse. So it has roguelike runs, each with its own emerging story, and each expedition could take from 30 minutes to several hours. So before we get into a few Switch 2 games, I have to mention GameStop is having an amazing sale on Amiibos right now. Some of the best Amiibos ever, some of the ones that I actually need to pick up myself, for only $6. So if you want to pick up some Amiibos, super cheap, GameStop is having a sale, I think until like October 7th or something. So yeah, man, I just thought I would mention this because when else are we going to get Amiibos this damn cheap? Especially when they're all going up to like 25 and 30 bucks now. We also have Sonic X Shadow Generations for the Switch 2 physically at Amazon for $39.99. Yes, I know this game came out on the Switch as well, but I didn't pick it up on the Switch. I picked it up on the Switch 2. And after having my Switch 2 for almost like 4 months now and playing a bunch of games, I'm not just saying it because of this video. Sonic X Shadow Generations is still one of my favorite Switch 2 games I have played so far. If you like Sonic, obviously it's a no-brainer. But I think Shadow Generations is truly one of the best Sonic games ever created. Looks amazing, super fun gameplay, incredible soundtrack, and it's just something like everybody can enjoy. But the way it mixes 2D and 3D, I just feel like it's a must-play Switch 2 game, and I truly mean that. We also have Mario Kart World digitally at kingwin.net for $58.80. This is a keys website where you buy game keys. Every website that I will recommend will always be 100% legit. What's cool is you can like sign up to their little like membership thing. I don't even know how much it is, and you can save an additional $7 on this game. But still, 58 bucks, that's over $20 off the full price. So if you didn't buy the Mario Kart World bundle and you don't care about buying this digitally, which Mario Kart's one of the games like, yeah, I'm gonna play that game forever, so I don't mind owning it digitally. You can save over $20 buying it this way, and then take those $20 that you saved and buy like 3 or 4 other games we talked about in this video. Not a bad way to go. Ladies and gentlemen, this is one of my favorite sales we talked about this entire year because we truly had everything. Switch games, Switch 2 games, digital, physical, accessories. I'm doing the work here. I'm always going to give you guys the best prices that I can possibly find. So if you enjoyed this video, let me know in the comments below. Just start a conversation down there. And if you made it all the way to this part of the video, hit a like and subscribe. Follow me on Instagram and Twitter so we can keep the communities growing. And you guys know me, I will see you very soon with a new video. Peace out.